What is going on, everyone? AP over here at Run Pure Sports, bringing to you the Strokes Gain Show, here with my two main guys. We got the Zurich Classic. We apologize for being late. We had some technical difficulties. We're just going to cut right to it tonight, though. I think it's, Zurich Classic, it's not like a great event. There are some great contests there in the Draftkings lobby and stuff, so we're going to talk through this, find the winners. Let's get to the boys. We got Hoop, we got Snyder. Hoop, what's going on, my man? How was your week last week?
Yeah, it wasn't the greatest at the RBC. I mean, faded Spieth, faded Cantlay, and obviously those were the two that you kind of needed. So, we look to bounce back here. Unfortunately, we don't have the best event to bounce back. The Zurich Classic, pretty random team event, different format each day, which we'll kind of talk about here in the opening. I think it's a good week to kind of just, make it more about entertainment. And if you are going to play, don't go all in here. This is, tough to find an edge, tough to really find things you like. We'll do our best and go through it all. But for me, scaling way back this week and just, playing some lineups for entertainment purposes.
Yeah, before I kick it over to Snyder, everyone hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It helps us to keep this free for each and all of you every week. Snyder, I'm going to kick it over to you. Talk to us a little bit about your week, but then talk to us about the Zurich Classic and about kind of the setup. It's a partner team event, but it's a different type of format this week. So give us a little preview about the Zurich Classic.
Coming into this, last week was not the best for me. It just didn't work out for me well. I faded some guys that did well, and a couple of the guys I was high on, Henley, Fitzpatrick, some of those guys didn't come through for me there. But ready to jump back through here. We got this team event here this week. The winning score has been right around -20 to -27 over the 4 times this has been. Cam Smith actually won this event twice. He won the opening event with Jonas Blix, and then he's a defending champion in this as well with Mark Leishman last year. The top 33 teams and ties will make the cut after the 36 holes. The first and third rounds, they will be playing best ball, and the second and fourth, the final round, they will be playing alternate shot. So that'll be interesting. I mean, with the alternate shot, one player, they will alternate tee spots. One player will hit the tee shot on all the even numbered holes. One player will hit all the tee shots from the odd number holes to make sure that no player has more tee shots than other ones, trying to keep everything going. And this is actually a pretty big event, though, as it holds a 2-year exemption, includes entry into the Players' Championship next year, and entry into the invitational field. So I think this is a good spot for some of these lesser guys. If they can pick off a win here, I mean, it can be huge for them. Like a guy like Ben Yon and some of those guys who dropped down to the Corn Ferry. If they can somehow get a win here, they're back on tour for 2 years. So interesting in that aspect, but ready to dive into this with you guys.
Do you guys know, just real quick, like how you get your partner?
Your audio is off a little bit, I think, AP.
Yeah, it's...
okay, one second. You guys go into it.
Yeah, we'll take over. Yeah, we'll hop in. We'll start going tier by tier like we do every single week. And, if you are playing this week, you just know that you can only roster one guy from each team. And I know the site on DraftKings, they make it so, once you pick one of the players, you can't pick the other. So, just in terms of roster construction, know that you can only play one. You get the score for the team, and that's how it kind of works. We'll start in the 10K range, and there's looks like 4 teams over 10K, so maybe some like softer pricing. You got Hovland, Morikawa, then Cantlay, Schauffele, Leishman, Cam Smith, and then the 10K range rounds out with Sam Burns and Horschel. Snyder, what are you kind of thinking up here in this top tier range?
Yeah, up top at the highest price, you got Morikawa and Hovland. Both guys are ranked inside the top 5. Both similar games, too. I mean, they're both really great with the irons, good off the tee. I mean, when it comes to around the green and on the green, though, I mean, all bets are off with these guys. Hovland's terrible around the green. Morikawa can't putt, and he hasn't been playing as well around the green either. But I think like in the best ball formats, I really like these two. I think they're going to make a lot of birdies in that format. Even if one guy has a bad hole, the other guy can still make birdie. And I think that can all around carry the team with them in the best ball. I mean, the alternate shot, I mean, that's kind of boom bust with these two. Just depends on if they can make some putts or not. I do like going back to Cam Smith and Mark Leishman here. I mean, Cam Smith's just been playing some of the best golf in the world next to Scheffler, who we'll get into a little later. I think this is like a very comfortable pairing for these two Aussies. Leishman had a really solid start to the year as well. Comes off that 30th place at Augusta. Cam Smith's off that missed cut last week, but I mean, that could have been kind of like a little letdown spot for him coming off that near finish at the Masters. But I think these two will have a good spot up here. I think it's mainly going to be Morikawa, Hovland, and Cam Smith and Leishman for me up here. I think Horschel and Burns seem to be getting some talk up around the industry earlier in this week, but I just couldn't. I just can't imagine paying $300 more for Burns and Horschel when I can get Scheffler. I don't care who Scheffler's partner is, like you were saying pre-show. You get Scheffler and Palmer for $300 cheaper. I mean, I can't pass that up.
Yeah, we'll talk about Scheffler in the next range, but I made the comment before we hopped on talking to Snyder. Scheffler could be paired with Ricky Flower, and I think I would still play him in this event. Honestly, I think I would. I mean, the guy is just straight fire right now. AP, I'll continue on hosting here just in case
I like
some audio issues on your end. But yeah, this 10K range, what are you thinking up here from the Hovland Morikawa group down to Burns and Horschel?
Yeah, just a real quick mic check. I mean, how is it? Is it good? Using the AirPods now?
Yeah, there's a little echo, but you're back in the game. Much better than before.
I know. If anyone wants this Blue Yeti, this thing sucks. Every time we get on StreamYard, it's effing brutal, man.
Hey, maybe the management team at Run Pure Sports could get you a new microphone. We'll see. We'll see what we can do.
We'll see about that. Yeah. So I think for me, like obviously we talked about like dialing back volume. So I'm going to do that this week, like you guys. I'm going to make more ownership fades than normal this week. So, like, while I think Cam Smith and Leishman are really good plays, I'm probably going to be under on him just on the fact that I think Cam Smith's history here is going to get him ownership, especially with how Leishman's playing. But I think maybe that Masters, like, I think that's something that might stick with him for a little bit. He just seemed out of it last week. And then, the thing is like Xander, we all played him. We all remember him at the Masters. Just what a disaster that was. Didn't care at all. I think, though, with a team event, like in how Cantlay looked in his playing, pretty decent. Maybe that's what Xander needs to really get motivated. So I'm going to have interest in Xander and Cantlay here. And then Hovland and Morikawa, I think, are fine. They're obviously like what a dangerous duo. Like, I would not be surprised if they won it all. So, but I think my overweight, the guys I'm going to be overweight on in this range is Cantlay and Xander.
Yeah, I think the Xander Cantlay pairing was going to go one of two ways, which is fine for GPPs. I mean, Xander has been an absolute fucking disaster, which we've talked about, and his performance at the Masters was just so uninspiring. I mean, just brought nothing to the table and just did nothing for 2 straight days. But now he's going to go out there and he has another guy relying on him to make good shots. I think it could be something that corrects his game a little bit. I have a feeling these two might be the lowest owned. I mean, I haven't looked at projections and all that, but Hovland and Morikawa are going to get the ownership. Cam Smith and Leishman have had success here before, and then Burns and Horschel appear to be like the sexy duo this week. They're posing for pictures and all this stuff. So we'll see what ends up happening. Let's hop in to this 9K range, and it starts at the top with our boy Scheffler. He's paired with Ryan Palmer. And apparently, if Ryan Palmer plays in this event, he gets paired up with the number one golfer in the world. That previously paired with Jon Rahm. Now he gets the hottest guy on the planet, Scotty Scheffler. I think this is very interesting that Scheffler's in this tier, below the 10K range. Coming in, this pair is coming in at 9.7. Then you got Lowry, Poulter. You got Fleetwood, Garcia, Neiman, Mito, which I think is an interesting pairing. Taylor Gooch, Max Homa, and then we have HV3 and Bubba Watson. Stick with you, AP. Talk to me about these guys in the 9K range.
Yeah, I mean, first off, like, incredible hosting skills. Like, you might win the job over me. Definitely a better host.
I like being on the other side. I
know it's less work. It's less work for sure. Yeah, I mean, look, Scotty Scheffler with anyone. And like you said, I'm gonna play him. This is the chalk that I am willing to eat. So while I did say like fading ownership and getting leverage is going to be a big priority for me, not the case with Scotty Scheffler. He's too hot. He gets a good partner that understands how to play in this type of format. They're both Texas guys. And then what you said about Palmer just getting paired with studs and having success. I'm going to be on him. Like I'm not fading Scheffler anymore. Like until he just completely lets us down. And I'm definitely playing him at the PGA Championship. So Scotty Scheffler, Ryan Palmer, definitely high on them. Shane Lowry, I don't know. I'm probably going to be under on him and Poulter, and Tommy and Sergio. I don't really know about them either. I think I'd rather just have more Scheffler and Palmer shares. Like I'm kind of envisioning how roster construction will look, and it's not like we can play a ton of these guys. So I see this range being a range that I make some stands. So Neiman and Mito. I mean, Neiman's been playing phenomenal, but like Mito in this format, he seems a little bit overpriced here too. So I'm not going to say like I'm fading him. I'm just a little bit unsure. I would probably rather have a few shares of Gooch and Homa. Homa's been playing phenomenal, and then Gooch has been playing incredible as well. T14 at the Masters. I mean, Gooch is right up there. I think it's going to be a very comfortable pairing for those two. So give me Gooch and Homa, and give me Scotty Scheffler and Ryan Palmer.
Any thoughts on Harold Varner? Did you mention those guys, him and Bubba? Because I know Varner's had like really bad course history here. I believe four tries, 4 missed cuts. Just curious your thoughts there.
I mean, I've been fading Varner for this whole stretch. That he's just been killing it, and I'm going to continue to fade him here.
Yeah.
Although I did have that build. I don't know if you guys saw that, but I forgot, Kevin Kisner. I think he missed the cut on the number. Every other guy in my lineup was like T2 or T3 or better. Oh,
so gross. Ridiculous. That was the winner. I mean, that team literally was the winner. Besides that missed cut, just absolutely disgusting. What didn't Kisner miss like a short putt too to miss the cut?
Last hole, I think.
5-footer, 3-putted too. And with how good of a putter he is.
So gross. All right, Snyder, toss it over to you. Talk to me about these guys here in this 9K range.
Yeah, I definitely like Scotty here. Hard to fade Scotty under 10K, and he actually gets a good partner here. I mean, Ryan Palmer's comfortable with this event. He's won this event. Him and John Rahm won this event right before COVID, I think, right back in 2019. So I definitely like those two there. Palmer isn't in the best of form right now, but he started the year good. I think it doesn't matter. I mean, Scheffler's playing so good. I like those two.
Have to imagine playing with the hottest golfer on the planet might kick your butt into form a little bit, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. So I definitely have quite a bit of conviction on those guys. I think Homa and Gooch and Mito and Neiman are pretty close to like the same plays. Like I don't want to play Poulter. I'm not going to play him. I mean, Lowry's been playing great, but I don't want to play Poulter. I don't want to play Sergio. So, I mean, that's going to cross those guys off the teams for me. But I think Homa and Gooch, they have really good birdie upside. I think that could be a good pairing for those two. Interesting in GPPs. I think they'll be a little lower owned than like Mito and Neiman. But Mito's coming off 3 straight solid outings. Neiman has a win, a 6th, and comes in off a 12th place finish last week. So, I think those two are kind of both trending upwards. I think this could be a great pairing for the two. I think they've like roommated a few times. They like kind of grew up together. Like I'm pretty sure they've been around each other a lot as Mitos came onto the tour. I think Neiman's kind of taking him under his wing a little bit. So definitely like the two Chileans there. And then I think that's about it for me in this 9K range. I don't think I'm going to go the HV3. I did talk him up some last week. It was like one of my only good calls last week was Varner, but I don't think I'm going to play him here in this event. I think him and Bubba are just kind of too erratic, a little too dangerous for me in this event. I mean, we do see a lot of these golfers like get pretty wild and go to the casinos and like the party during this event too. So there's a lot of stories that always go around with that, and I can see those two kind of cutting loose a little bit.
Yeah, never know. Could get wild. They're in between rounds. So yeah, I'm with you. I'm probably out on them too. If you are watching this video, please do us that favor. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It helps us to continue to bring you guys these videos for free on a weekly basis. Tune into our other shows as well, MLB show, Monday through Friday, actually Saturday and Sunday as well, breaking down the MLB slate, Swing for the Fences. That's free on this channel. So do us that favor, hit the like, hit the subscribe. We're going to hop into the 8K range. Starts with Davis Riley and Will Zalatoris, and it goes all the way down to Hadwin and Svensson. So a lot of teams here in this range. Snyder, I'll stick with you. Talk to me about a few teams here that kind of stand out to you. The ranges are starting to get a little bit bigger now that we're going lower in price.
Definitely. I definitely like Riley and Zalatoris up top here. I mean, they are former roommates, and now they're both on tour here. Zalatoris comes off a 6th at the Masters, his 3rd, 6th place or better this year. Riley finished 2nd at the Valspar a few weeks back. I think this should be a comfortable pairing with the two younger guys here. Definitely could see this being a weird way for Zalatoris to get his first PGA win, too, so that'd be interesting. I'm going to have some conviction on Ben-An and Sungjae Im. Ben-Yan's been demoted to the Korn Ferry Tour. He's been playing well on the Korn Ferry Tour. He's got a win back in February. And then last week he shot, I think he was at like 20 under, got 2nd place in that event, shot 4 rounds of 68 or better in that event. So I think he's coming in with some good form. He's actually been putting a lot better than he was on the PGA Tour before in the last year or so. Sungjae Im had that top 10 finish at the Masters and then nearly gained 10 strokes to the green last week. So I like that pairing with those two. I think Strill and Bradley, it's kind of been a rough start to Strill's season, but he's made the last 3 cuts, and Keegan has 3 finishes of 11th or better in his last 4 events. So I think that could be a good pairing for those two. And then I like the 2 Canadians down there, Adam Svensson and Adam Hadwin. Hadwin just continues to play strong golf. He's gained over 3 strokes approach in 4 straight events now, and Svensson's has solid success to start 2022 and comes off a 26th place finish last week, gaining over 5 strokes approach. So those are the 4 teams I'm mainly looking at in this range.
Yeah, mostly in agreement with you. The Hadwin and Svensson pairing, I mean, those are 2 guys that have been playing more than just about anyone as of lately, and I don't see myself going away from them. A lot in the middle that I'll probably end up fading, but that Riley and Zalatoris pairing at 8.9K definitely has my eye. AP, we'll toss it over to you. Talk to us about the guys here in this, or the teams here in this 8K range.
Yeah, I have a ton of interest in Willie Z and Davis Riley. Like, I've done a few events like this. I mean, Snyder, Firethorn puts one on, and when I did do it, I was with my brother-in-law, who's a scratch golfer. I suck at golf. He's phenomenal. Not like the best putter, but he never misses a shot. He's a good ball striker. Like, I've never seen him hit like a bad shot. He's like a Willie Z type. Whenever you had an alternate shot, that was our best like event, and it was because the dude never missed a shot. So we were always like tee to green, fine, and then we're dropping a few putts every now and then. And so when you have a guy like that, like Willie Z on your team, I think it's a huge edge. So and I had no idea that they were like roommates and stuff. So you get maybe a little shower narrative there, Snyder. So sign me up for that. Hatton Willett, I'll probably be off those guys. That just seems like Hatton just can tilt like crazy, and Danny Willett, like, while he's playing decent golf right now, if he hits a bad shot, I could just see like Hatton getting all pissed off. So I'll be off them. Ben-An, Sungjae. I mean, Ben-An, he's had some success on the Korn Ferry Tour, like Snyder said. I think I'd prefer, like, I want to make stands here. So as I'm going down here, I can't play these teams over Willie Z's team. So I'm probably going to say no to him. Same goes for McDowell. Not going to play him. Maybe a little bit of interest in Keegan. Keegan's been playing good. He's shown a lot of upside recently. And then he has Brendan Steele as his partner there. I think that's a very good pairing. Both guys, good ball strikers. They've shown some recent form. So give me a lot of this team and Brendan Steele and Keegan Bradley. And then I'm probably making some more cuts. I mean, Sepp Straka, and he's there with our boy Grayson Sig. maybe a little bit of interest in him. And then Chris Kirky, who was hurtful last week, and Brendan Todd, who was a work pitch play, might have a little bit of those guys, but probably going to make some cuts in this range. The teams I do like are definitely Willie Z, Davis Riley, and then let's go Brendan Steele, probably Keegan Bradley. I mean, I'm going to lean on the ball strikers here. I think that those guys are going to have an edge in some of these events.
Yep, I'm with you. I mean, the bad putters for me are guys that I'm going to boost a little bit because they're going to be, their teams will be a little bit less dependent on, you know, each individual guy making those putts. A lot of opportunities to get bailed out. So I'm with you. Ball strikers, I think, are the way to go. Hopping into the 7K range, it's massive. I mean, there's a lot of teams in this range. It starts with Keith Mitchell, and Snedeker goes all the way down to let's see, all the way down to Smalley and Buckley. Oh, two of Snyder's boys, I believe. So actually, we're gonna toss it over to Snyder, because just glossing over this range, a lot of his guys here. You don't have to talk about all the teams. Just talk about some teams that stand out as plays, and maybe a couple that stand out as fades for you in the 7K range.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be going to Kevin Kisner and Scott Brown. They've got really good course history here in this event. They played a ton of golf together on and off tour. I mean, they play together for fun. They played together a lot on Tuesdays, like in the money games and such. They should mesh really well here. They did miss the cut in this event last year, but the previous 3 times, I mean, they had really, really good success here. I do like the Bramlett Mav combo. Both have solid birdie upside here. Bramlett shot 64 on Sunday last week, and Mav's just been very consistent and ranks inside the top 25 in Draftkings scoring. So I do like that pairing. Bo Hostler didn't play that well last week coming off that top 5 finish, but he's definitely got the birdie upside we're looking for here. Him and Thigala, they're both young guns. They can both fire at pins, make a ton of birdies, which is what we're looking for here. We're going to need that winning group to be probably low 20s under par. So you got to make a ton of birdies in this, mainly in the best ball format. That's where you're going to mainly score all your birdies. But Stallings and Garnett, I think that's an interesting combination there. Stallings has been playing some really good golf, and we've seen like Garnett, he's popped off a few times here and there. He did finish 7th at the Puerto Rico Open and 27th at the Valspar. This could be like a little lower owned GBP type birdie upside pairing here.
Didn't those guys play together last year? Didn't they have success? I believe. I'm not 100% on that. I mean, if you happen to get that along the way, maybe mention it. But I thought they played together and were pretty successful last year. But yeah, continue on.
Yeah, that sounds pretty close. I don't think I'm going to play some of these guys, though. I think like some of these guys just have some bad partners. Like they got like Alex Noren's been playing really well, but I don't trust his partner. I don't trust like Higo seems to be like a guy that might catch some steam, but him and his partner, neither have entered in really good form. Just don't see a lot of guys early on right here that I'm looking at. I could maybe play some Smalley there, but just looking through here, I think like Jason Day's team, I don't think I could play him. Henrik
How did
Norlander,
those two get paired together? Like how did that come about?
I don't know.
Who's he playing with? Scrivener?
I think something like that, yeah.
Jeez.
And then we got Henrik Norlander. He's playing with Noren, but we have seen Norlander every once in a while get hot, but he's been pretty bad as of late, so I don't think I can go there. And like Lipsky, Taylor Moore, my guy Taylor Moore, I would love to play him, but he's just not been playing good at all. I don't think he's finished inside like the top 120 in the last 4 events, so I think I'm just going to make a lot of X's in this range mainly.
Yeah, I agree with you. There are a lot of teams here. Toss it over to you, AP. Talk to me about some teams that stand out for you, maybe a couple that you'll be looking to fade in the 7K range.
Yeah, I got to be very careful when I talk about like ownership fade and getting leverage, because one way I'm not going to get leverage is Jason Day and this random dude that we've never heard of. Yeah. There's no way I'm playing.
So weird, just such an odd pairing.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it makes literally 0 sense. I mean, Snedeker's and bad. Not gonna go there. Buzenhout. I mean, is he paired with Buzenhout or Schwartzel? I don't have the
Buzenhout and him and Schwartzel are together.
Schwartzel. Yeah, I can't play them. I mean, there are going to be a lot of cuts down here. Tringali and Wyndham Clark. I mean, Clark's been. Is that who he's with?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, Tringali just is one of those guys that I don't think he hits a lot of bad shots. So again, he kind of fits that narrative I was talking about. Wyndham Clark absolutely bombs it off the tee. Can be a nice advantage in this format as well. His form has been a little bit better. I mean, if we go back a few events, it's been really bad. But the last 3 events that he's played, he's actually shown some you know, 3 made cuts. T22 at the Corrales Punta Cana, T35 at the RBC. I might have some interest in that group. Mad McNeely, I like your boy. I might have a little bit of him as well. And then a lot of cuts. Like I don't even know if I'm going to play. Well, actually, Kevin Kisner, Scott Brown. Maybe it looks like these guys have some history here, and I always like Kevin Kisner in this type of format. So this might be a team that I include in my player pool, but I'm not like excited about playing them, especially after Kevin Kisner hurt my feelings like he did last week. So Alex Noren and Henrik Norlander, I'm with you, Snyder. I'm definitely going to cut them. Going down here a little bit further. I mean, I don't know. It gets tough down in this.
It gets
range.
tough very quick, and you know we still have to talk about the 6K range, and it gets even more difficult. Like
so like here, I think if you're multi-entering this week, what you do is you plant your flags up top, like the guys that you want to lock in, go way overweight on, and then set some max constraints down here. Like make your cuts, like Jason Day's team. We're not playing him. But some of these other teams that are borderline, like that have a little bit of history here, like the Kevin Kisners, maybe include them in there, and then you know, have them mix and match in. Like I don't know, I feel like that might be the best route to go. This is a type of event where if a team gets going and you know they show some good chemistry or whatever you want to say, we can see random people get up there and win. So. I don't know. I still want to make a lot of cuts, but I might open up the player pool a little bit depending on which route I go. But there's going to be a lot of cuts down here for sure. If I had to sum up this range and kind of give my top plays, let me go back up here real quick. Mad McNeely for sure. I just think he's a stud, and I think we all agree on that. And then the other one is, probably the Kevin Kisner team, unless there's a low 7K team that kind of pops out. But I'm not seeing like a ton. Maybe Stallings and Garnett. I mean, what do you guys think about him?
Yeah, I just looked up the results on that. Yeah, I just looked up the results. They finished T11 here last year. Yeah. They shot 18 under in the best ball formats and then 3 over in the alternate shot. So, I mean, they were real close.
Yeah, I like that squad. I thought for some reason in my head, I remember because I think I faded them and I was pissed because I remember them doing really well. So, that's a team I have interest in too. It gets dirty, very dirty. I mean, the 7K range, it was getting ugly. Now it's getting very ugly. There's just not much down here. I mean, the worst golfers on tour are paired together down here. I mean, there's just tons of just really, really bad teams. However, at the top, my boy Wierenski and Peter Uihlein are paired together. I do have interest in those guys, but after that, it is slim pickings once you start going through a lot of fades. I mean, a ton of fades. Snyder, I'll go to you. Just give me a couple teams down here that you're interested in, maybe 2 or 3.
Yeah, I could see that Richie Wierenski team for sure. I do kind of like Adam Long here. He's paired up with Bo Hogue. I mean, Long's off that 12th place finish last week. His third top 35 in his last 5 events. So Adam Long's a good birdie maker too. And Bo Hogue's a guy we were kind of on a little bit last year at times. He's been playing a little more on the Korn Ferry Tour, but he's made his last 2 PJ cuts at the Punta Cana and the Puerto Rico. I think those 2 could possibly make the cut and maybe make some noise on the weekend. Hodges and Whaley, back-to-back top 30s for Whaley, and Hodges finished top 10 at the Honda. That's interesting. And maybe look at like Herman and Taylor for a punt at 6,400. both the old guys. I think their games could mesh well here. It's worth a look at 6.4K, I think. But it's pretty dusty down here, I'll say for sure.
Yeah, very dusty. AP, give me a few teams in the 6K range that you potentially have some interest in this week.
Yeah, I lost my sheet that showed all the teams, so I just have the pricing. So, and a lot of these guys are priced the same. So,
hey, for DraftKings, all you got to do, you just need to know one of them. You don't need to know both. I mean, that's all it takes is just one.
Yeah,
so
that's true. That's true. Very good. I mean, going down here, gosh, it's bad. Like it's really bad. I mean, a lot of these guys that we like. I mean, Von Taylor, maybe a little bit. Like we're gonna have to maybe open up the player pool a tiny bit down here. Wes Bryan, like I'm just trying to think of some names. I mean, the other thing that I would do is lean on anyone down here who has experience in this event or at least some history with the person they're playing with. You could try punting all the way down to Chesson Hadley. Who's his teammate? You guys have that up?
I think he's with
Is he with Bird?
1, 2, 1, 2. He's with Bird. Yeah, him and Bird.
Bird. Okay. So here's the thing. Both of those guys it's been a while since they've played it, but they have history in an event like this. Hadley, an okay ball striker, but his putter's been hot recently. So that's something where, like, if your partner is hitting good shots and you're making some good putts, maybe they get through and get lucky. It's one way to also like get exposure to multiple of those stud teams that we were looking at. But outside of that, there's going to be so many cuts that we make down here. Yeah. I mean, the other thing too is like we're still, putting out the playbook and all these other things. Snyder, we'll be diving deep into this range and a lot of like the notebook play and those different things. It's going to take a little extra work this week to dial in and to find out who we really like. I mean, on the surface, this range looks so dusty, though. I'm kind of with you guys.
Do you guys have any interest in like just fully punting one of these teams? I could imagine the 6 of 6 being like super low. Yeah, I mean, I think there's 80 teams and 33 make it. So, I mean, there could be a very low team.
Obviously it's a little delayed start, I think, for everyone PGA this week. And, I haven't built any teams. I'm assuming you guys haven't built any teams. When, you get to making teams and roster construction demands some teams down here, I'm fine taking chances. This is a volatile event. Like, you don't know what you're going to get. The stats, looking at the guys' statistics, it's just difficult this week because of the format of this event. So I think you can see, random teams pop up. So yeah, if I get to building teams and realize I need to, take on some risk and come down here, I'm going to be fine doing it. Do I want to? Hell no. I mean, look at the names of these guys. I mean, it's just atrocious. But, the nature of the event might end up leading us down that path. And if that's the case, I'm fine taking on risk, playing a 6.2K team or a 6.1K team. Are these guys good golfers? Hell no. But, if I need to do it, I'm willing to do it. Is that kind of what you're getting at, Snyder?
Yeah, pretty much. I was just thinking, would it be better to have like 5 legit teams and then like just like kind of go down there and punt off if you think the 6 of 6. I just think that there's so many teams that are really good up high. It's just gonna be tough to fit all those teams making the cut. And
one guy I'm not playing is Kelly Craft, whoever he's partnered with. Is it Kevin Tway? I kind of like Kevin Tway, but Kelly Craft,
they're together.
I was looking it up the other day. He's played in like 18 or 19 events this season, or I think, and like I think he's only made like 80 or 90K. Like Ricky Fowler's made like 7 times what he's made. And just think about the golfer that Ricky Fowler is. So this guy's very bad.
It's tough sledding. This week's obviously going to be a little bit quicker. We, just don't have the convictions. This is very random, very volatile. We talked about in the opening, good opportunity to scale back your play. Golf goes all year round. I mean, you don't want to go all in on the freaking Zurich Classic. It's so random. You don't know what you're going to get. I like the, difference. I like how it's a change to the, regular stroke play event. I wish they do it a little bit different with like the teams and stuff. But this is what we have. And the contests are big around the industry. I mean, DraftKings rolled out their normal GPP slate this week. So there are contests to be played. There's money to be made. Our content will start dropping tomorrow. We'll get the playbook dialed in. We'll have the cash chart. We'll have the core plays. We'll have the tiers. We'll be in Discord breaking it all down. We'll have the premium show tomorrow night with normal crew. So we have everything normal ready to roll, but the event is obviously a little bit different. Before we get into the winners, please do us that favor. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe. And as I always say, it helps us to continue to bring you guys these free shows on a daily basis, essentially. So let's get into the winners. Start with UAP. Give me a team up top that you have some interest in, and maybe a long.
Well, let's start with Snyder real quick.
Snyder. All right, we're going to Snyder.
I gotta get my odds back up. Yeah.
Snyder, give us some winners here. Who do you got up top? Who do you got as a long shot?
Yeah, I'm gonna roll with. I'm not gonna go with any like one of the top two favorites. Obviously, I would probably like Morikawa or like Scheffler or something, but I'm not going to go up there. I'm going to go to give me Zalatoris. He's going to get his first win in this team event, 30-1. I like the odds on Zalatoris at 30-1 in an event like this. And then for like a longer shot, like a deep, let's go for Mav. He could get his first win in this event with Bramlett at 60-1. I think that's a pretty good price tag for Mav.
I like that team. I'll go next. I like that pairing of Homa and Gooch. Just seems like they would play well together, feed off each other. They're going to be having some fun out there. So I think they could potentially take this down. And I guess, one thing that's very important, I know you guys touched on it, but this is like legit PGA Tour event. Like you win this event, like you're set. So, I mean, these guys are going out here trying to win, despite the fact that it's a little bit different in the format. So that's just a side note. But give me Gooch, give me Homa. Then my long shot's going to be my guys, Uline and Werenski, both kind of playing solid. So that's kind of where I'm at for my long shot. AP, got the winners for us?
Yeah. So look, I'm not putting a bet on it, but the guy I think the team that I think is going to win is Scheffler and Palmer. 9-1. I mean, obviously they're favorites, but let me just explain why. Like Ryan Palmer, he's played in 12 events this year. He's made only 7 of those cuts, no top 10s, only 2 top 25s. So like now he gets Scotty Scheffler. Like he's been good in team events. Palmer has. Now he gets the guy who's the hottest on the planet. Like this dude has the opportunity to like just absolutely bump his stock up. So, and I think Scheffler's going to realize that too. And I think he's going to go out and do his thing. I think Scheffler's going to say, yeah, I'm going to take this scrub along with me and I'm going to go and own the field. And I think he's going to do it again. So give me Scotty Scheffler and whoever, it doesn't matter. I'm going to be taking them. And then I'm going to go Keegan Bradley and Brendan Steele. The ball strikers 45-1. I'm going to bet on all the ball strikers here. Hopefully that they can make some putts, but on some of those alternate shot events, having ball, I'll take ball strikers all day over your solid putters.
Love it. All right. Yeah. Like we said, a little bit different this week, a little bit shorter show, but all our normal content will be out starting tonight, probably tomorrow morning. And by tomorrow afternoon, everything should be up on the website, the playbook, cash chart, core plays, tiers. And then we have our premium show tomorrow night as well, breaking down the Zurich Classic. But for the Stroke Gain show, that's going to do it here tonight. We'll be back next week, normal field event for AP, for Snyder. I'm Hoop. Good luck in your contest this week.